So I guess what happens after you finish with school?
Well, I got my GED, but I didn't get my GED while I was going. I got it years later. Like
All right.
I took the test and got it. So I just dropped out of school and just doing dumb shit, just being a dumb young kid. Bro.
You know what though? I did the same. Not the same exact, right? But like I look at it all as like I needed to walk that path. You know, like without walking that path, you wouldn't have ended up where you ended up. Where you ended up isn't that bad. You know what I mean? It made you into the man that you are, you know, and everything that you have now is a blessing. So it's like,
Right,
yo,
right, yeah,
you needed to walk that way and do all those fuck ups so that you could get on your straight and narrow, you know? It's
exactly
there's
what
not
Holden was saying. Yeah,
you know how many people like go right like we've heard the term before of midlife crisis, you know?
right.
And what was it that Nas said with the grown men like with the man children, you know what I mean? Like so like, you know, it's just one of those things where like we've heard a lot of people talk about, you know, like being older and then going through young shit because why? You didn't do it when you were young. You know what I mean? Like if anything, you did the right thing. You fucked
Yeah,
up when you
man.
were supposed to fuck up when you were young. You know, like
Right.
there's nothing worse
Yeah,
than being
I'm
like
not embarrassed about
40,
it.
50, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Still
yeah,
fucking up
definitely.
like you a teenager making moves out here like you a teenager because
Yeah, yeah.
you wanted to be you wanted to be a straight narrow straight edge
Mhm.
your whole teens and 20s, and then you get to your
Right.
50s, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to die
Yeah,
without
yeah, yeah.
doing, you know what I mean? Then
Exactly.
it's like, look at you out here
Yeah,
looking crazy.
I'm never tripping on it. You know what I'm saying? I say it like that so motherfuckers who are watching understand that you don't gotta be doing dumb shit. And if you wanna do it, do it. Just make sure you get right when you when you can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Be ready
that's
to
all.
live with the circumstances. Because I'm
Right,
pretty sure there
exactly.
came a lot of repercussions and circumstances
Yeah,
to
of
like
course.
the actions of like living how you lived, you know?
Right,
And you were able
right.
to deal with them, and those are what help mold you into the man that you are. If you're not the type of person that's built for that, you might not want to try to do that.
Or at the very
Absolutely.
least, my general rule of thumb is if you put yourself in the situation, don't complain about it after.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, like within reason, you know, like don't play the victim of a situation if you put yourself there. Not to say like I mean this is just everything in life, right? You know,
Yep.
but it is probably better to do dumb shit in general, of all kinds of dumb shit, whatever that may mean, when you're young,
Right.
because
Right.
the people remember shit way longer when you're 26. If you throw up at an office event when you're 26 because you didn't manage your drinking right, they don't forget that the way that they'll forget
No,
it
they
when you're
never forget
21.
that.
They'll forget
Never
the
forget that.
21-year-old version. They don't forget the 26-year-old version.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's a fact.
big
Absolutely.
facts.
Yep.
But yeah. So like, at what point then, like, does it like get to a point where you're like battle rapping and like evolving into like this more like serious thing where you're just
All right.
demolishing people?
So you asked about any mixtape. So I was working on a project with some dudes, my niggas, dudes, my niggas to this day. We used to call ourselves the Street Veterans, and we worked on an album. We finished it, but never put it out. So once that happened, I was so my baby mom's cousin's baby daddy knows Express Money. So I meet Express Money through them.
I'm not sure who
He
Express
tells
Money
me
is.
Yes, I know who
Express
Express
Money
Money
is a
is.
battle rapper from the Bronx as well. You can check him out. That's what he's
Fresh.
at. Um, he asked me, yo, you ever heard of King of the Ring? And I'm like, nah, what's that? And he's like, yo, these niggas is battling, whatever, come through or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. So he's like, you gotta holler at Vague though. I'm like, who's Vague? He's telling me it's the guy that runs this shit. I go look at the battles, and I'm like, I'm gonna go over here and fuck somebody up if they let me in. So I email Vague. Um, he asked me if I had any battles or if I was experienced or whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't got no footage, but I rap, nigga. I know what I'm doing. So he said, "You have a MySpace." I sent him my MySpace, and he set me up to battle right after I gave him the MySpace, and it was on from there. So I didn't get nobody to talk to Vig. I had to talk to Vig myself, but they put me on the how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I got in on my own, like just I want to rap, I want to battle, I would fuck everybody up in this league. That's how I felt.
And who was the first opponent that he gave you?
Excuse me. His name is Amateur. He's from Jersey. He battled on Block City before.
What?
A to the M, he used to call himself.
A to the M. Okay,
Yeah.
copy. That's yo, back in the days, some of the battle rap names was like I remember being wild upset at C4. Like, bro, when I Google the words, the letter C and the number 4, C4 comes up as in the explosive. You want to know why? Because it's a very popular explosive. Why would you name yourself that? Like, I'm never gonna find you. Like, it's the worst. Why the name amateurs? Like, what, you want me to Google the word amateur? You know what's gonna come up, right? It's the definition for the word amateur.
Right, yeah. But you see, I didn't know who he was. They didn't tell me. They just told me come.
What?
Like,
say word. So this was like completely off the dome, unprepared shit, right?
Well, not really. I had raps, but these raps could be spit at you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I could rap these shits to anybody. So that's really what it was.
So it's not so like personalized at that, because part of it too is like not all of us were like, you know, following battle rap back then enough to know what was fully going on, and so there's a lot of questions like, why did beat stop? When did it change like this? When it was like that? So even just the formatting of that, to be like, okay, so you come in with a bunch of like arsenal ready to go at anybody because you don't know who the fuck is gonna be. So now you got to prepare for all kinds of circumstances. That is what I'm gonna guess. So yeah, can you tell us a bit more about that?
So the crazy shit about that, right? Vague never had an opponent for me. I called him the day of the battle. He said, "Yo, I got a monster for you. Listen to this." I'm like, "All right, cool." I already knew. So he says, "I got Joe Light," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I know Joe Light." At that time, free Joe Light, by the way. At that time,
yeah, free Joe Light. I did not know he was locked.
Yeah, at that time, that nigga was smacking niggas' hats and touching niggas and doing wild
Joe
shit.
Light
to his
wild,
opponent.
disrespectful. He was like I think wasn't he before Arsenal? Kind of like with the disrespectful. Like he was known for his disrespectful nature more so than anybody, and that was before Arsenal's disrespectful nature was a thing. So like Joe Light was like the first disrespectful dude like that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm like, damn, this nigga's about to go crazy. So I'm preparing myself for. I gotta fucking go crazy. I gotta turn up on Joe Light because he gonna turn up on me and he gonna try to get crazy with me. I was damn near Dolo. Express came and a couple other homies came, but so when I got there, it was mad niggas in the spot. So when I got there, Joe's not there. It's the amateur kid. So he's like, "Yo, you gonna battle him?" Because you know, Vague at this time is still trying to like get his shit popping. So he ain't really have that many battlers or battles set up for the night. So it was one of those walk in and just battle. You didn't have an opponent. So I battled amateur. The battle was bad, bro. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all. The battle was no good. So they said I lost too, which I don't think I lost, but whatever. They said the battle was bad. So look, right? So Vague, I'm like, "Yo, what's good? I want another plate." Because I know that wasn't the shit I normally do. That was the let me get this shit off of me, and when I come back, I'm gonna get right. So I told Vague, "Yo, trust me, bro. Just give me another plate." Because he was like, "Yo, I don't know, your battle was lackluster. I wasn't feeling it. Nobody really fucking with it like that." I'm like, "All right, give me another plate, bro." And he like, "All right, cool." He sets me up with fucking, y'all know Jay Parks? You know Jay Parks. You remember his man Caked Up Clips?
No.
I was supposed to battle him.
Okay.
He never showed up. Long story short, another dude from South Carolina chose to step up, and he got his shit waxed in front of everybody. So, and this was in Blockwork Studio. So,
Word.
Fred the God is in there, motherfucking
Yep.
Bullet Boys is in there, Matt, it's flooded. So I fucked him up in front of a lot of people, bro. And from there on, it was on. And I knew that was my last shot with Vig. And I wanted to fuck with Vig because that was like the new Bronx.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so sorry, what does the New Bronx mean?
What happened?
What does the New Bronx mean?
Like the new league in the Bronx, like because at this time the leagues was just starting to pop. Prime time was already popping, so there's different new leagues coming out, and Vague was based in the King of the Ring was based in the Bronx.
Yeah.
I wanted to fuck with King of the Ring. I knew that I could have went somewhere else, but I really wanted to fuck with King of the Ring. So
That's dope.
I made sure to to get it right there.
So that's fresh.
Yeah, you're right though. That is what it was, right? Like at the time, grind time, East Coast grind time wasn't even East Coast yet. It was grind time New York still, right? Because
Right,
all that
exactly.
they had, like grind time was so new that it was like, oh, grind time Florida, grind time Cali, grind time Midwest, and grind time New York.
Exactly.
And it kind of felt like, oh well, they all battle, like all the battles are happening in Manhattan, and yeah, there's people from all over involved, but this is like represents the like whole city. While like it was grind season TV, right? King of the
Season
Ring,
TV.
grind
Yes.
season TV. King of the Ring was like a very like, yo, this all the events were happening in the Bronx, in the like hood of the Bronx, and like the Bronx rappers and like underground like were coming out to these events. And even us, a lot of the uptown people would be from grind time would be at those events too. Um,
Right.
and so yeah, I could understand wanting to be, like there's like kids that now are like they wanted to be a part of Brooklyn Mic Club, or like
Right. We go
they're
hard.
we go hard, they
Yeah.
want their borough, they want to rep for that league from their borough or their
Right.
city.
Exactly. It's almost like making it to the NBA. You want to get drafted by the Knicks because you're from New York.
Yeah,
Right.
I
It's real
mean,
simple.
listen, when I used to go out for the draft league, when I was first getting the draft league going, like I would show up to these other leagues to like like essentially draft the challenge into the draft league to battle for us, so that we could see if like we would be able to get, because at that time we were starting to try to quality control was going on the grind time channel, because they were they like the fans were complaining that it was just too much content that wasn't great. And New York, always being New York and always being able to be honest with ourselves, we wanted to like make sure that we had like the best content going up. So like we wanted the draft league to be like this, like, we see if the talent can, be main stage shit. Like we were essentially starting what URL goes by now. You know what I mean? And when I used to go to these other leagues, I would go like in a Yankees jacket, because I felt like, yo, I'm drafting you to the Yankees, bro. Like you coming to the best scene. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
That's who you
it's
playing for
time,
right
kid.
now. Yeah.
Know what I mean? Come play for the
Right.
Yankees, son.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but yeah, all sports analogies for the rest of the conversation.
Right. Exactly. Just to simplify it for everybody else.
That's fair. It makes sense. I appreciate it still, because like nobody talked about it one time beforehand. This King of the Ring thing, this league, this loyalty to Bronx. We talked to a bunch of battle rappers from all kinds of tiers and different places in it. So like it helps me appreciate that more. Like I know what Fred the Godson is. That's a name I recognize. So just the idea of like, oh, say word, that like adds this like extra legitimacy to why you would care about it,
Right.
And I think it helps a lot of other people appreciate it too, because I feel like battle rap is super hard to get into. Not like it's bad, but like I really fuck with battle rap on some I didn't understand that shit. And then Flacco's like, you're talking to Iron Solomon. Go. And I'm like, oh, say word. And then it's been a lot of battle rappers since. And so it took a minute. You know, every time I would go through and learn a little bit more. Now I can appreciate it. I really do appreciate battle rap in like a whole deeper way as a culture. And like learning the history is fucking exciting for me. But adding that layer of context helps a lot of other people who may not understand battle rap understand it easier, because yo, that's not some shit you can just Google and it's easy to understand after Googling. So it's super cool to hear about just all of that era. And like, what's it like to even promote yourself as that person, being the rapper? Like, are you still trying to push music at this time? Like, because I know everybody's got their songs playing in these videos after, and like, you know, y'all referencing Twitter shit. So like, what's it like to be involved in that era of social media, promoting that vibe back then?
Like I said, man, I never really got into making songs like that, even while battle rapping, because I'm a bar head. I just want to hear bars. I want to hear rap. I want to see how. I'm not gonna say lyrical you get, because that shit is cliche, but I want to see how creative you can get with your pen. That was always my shit. So just promoting myself, it was really just battle rap stuff, like talking shit to you on Twitter. I never was the blog guy, but it was just mostly just putting the card up. I'm gonna kill this motherfucker, tag him in it, that type of shit. And that's really it. It wasn't really never put a song out and do this and do that, because that music wasn't really like my shit. It's just raps. I want to rap. I'm a rap head, bar head, do bars. That was me at that
Yeah.
in that time.
So y'all
I
like,
remember at that time. I remember at that time, like thinking to myself that, like, about like Pax always had a flow that would sound. That's why, like we're making music together now, you know, because like I always was like a strong believer in the fact that like he would sound good on track,
no,
because he's got
like,
a natural flow and cadence that is just built for music.
you hear
It
it though.
like, yeah,
Like, it's so clear.
Oh,
Like, I was like, listen, when I hear you rapping in the battle, it's honestly like you can hear the metronome underneath your voice in every one of them. Just like this precision to the timing where it's like on beat. You can hear the beat playing, which is like, so it's like I hear you saying it, but it's like, it's just so baffling. I mean, it's not, because I hear what you're saying. And then in a sense, y'all are like the
look,
ones that like bred off into this whole world of battle rap that is today, where it's not really about the music so much as it is about that whole thing. I know a whole bunch of people on Facebook right now that really don't give a fuck about songs. It's really just about this.
but you know
yeah,
what Flacco was saying, yo, like rapping on a beat to me is super duper easy. Like it's easy to find the flow. It's very easy to be creative. It's easy to make words bounce off each other. Battle rapping is super hard to me. It's hard. I gotta focus on this dude. I gotta find the angle. I gotta fucking be creative, and I gotta have bars, and I
yeah,
gotta be entertaining and funny. I don't have to do
hmm,
that in a song.
yeah.
I could just kill you with a flow, bars, wordplay, fire beat,
Yeah,
and
usually
that's
if
it.
you're making a song, you're focused, right? Like
Right.
I've worked with some rappers that like I criticize, because I'm like, yo, like you don't stay on topic for a song, because that's like a typical rapper who doesn't really know about, song structures. It's just like, yo, I rap and whatever comes to mind, it's just bars
Just
about
say it.
whatever, and it's just like, that's dope. But like, if we're talking about on a song a particular topic and you're just like all over the place dropping bars about all sorts of random shit, just like, this does not go, sir. Like, this
Right.
don't go right, but in battle rap, you're right. Like, you got to bust out all your whole entire arsenal of like
On your
whatever
bag,
you
yeah.
have. Like, rarely is
Mhm.
the time that you get to battle and just do one thing for the whole battle without really having to rely on other things. Nah, like, it's
Right.
always way more than one thing. It's a lot of intricacy, and it's a lot of different tonalities that you hit,
like,
strategy and tonalities, and just all sorts of things you got to do. Period.
So that, I think that's what made me do it more. Just more of a challenge. It was more fun, and then making people like, oh, it's better than the song. I'm gonna be real.